Everything you want in 2026 you can have, but it's going to take activating a part of you that perhaps you haven't activated in a while, or perhaps you've never activated before. And that's what I'm going to try and attempt to help you do with the content of this video. However, at the end of the day, you must understand that it's a matter of decision, and that's the most freeing thing in the world, but the most terrifying thing in the world as well. Success, your success, be it $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, $5 million a year, is a matter of decision. You must decide that this is what 2026 is going to be, or whenever you watch this video. It's a matter of decision. Success is not a chance happening. It's not accidental. It's a matter of decision. And the version of you that hits this $1 million a year mark for the sake of this video is the version of you that decided to get there. It was intentional. They chose to do it. And the version of you that doesn't hit their goals is a version of you that decided not to hit their goals. So choose. Decisions can be terrifying, but they can also be the most freeing thing, the most empowering thing in the world, because you realize that your success really comes down to a matter of choice. Do you choose to create it that day? Do you choose to go after it that day? It all comes down to choice. Now, in the context of $1 million a year, and that is just one of many aspirations I could have used to title this video and frame it, but at the end of the day, the theme is the same. It's ascension, or rather settling into the best version of you, which really is the you that commits to the advancement of itself over and over and over again, the recommitment. That being said, we talk about $1 million a year. It's important for me to not mislead you. So in reality, like let's just put this into perspective. A 1% entrepreneur, if you're making $1 million a year, you are somewhere in the 1% of all, at least solopreneurs. And so what this is going to mean, it means a lot of things, but notably, it's going to mean that 99% of people that you meet or that you run into, you won't be able to relate to. 99% of people, 99 out of 100 people that you meet or interact with will not be able to advise you correctly. 99 out of 100 people who give you advice, their advice won't apply to you. Their goals won't apply to you. Their ambitions won't apply to you. So if we're going to start off this video, it's important for me to help you understand, and I'm talking to my old self, almost as though I'm speaking to a different timeline of myself here. You want, what you say you want, do you know what this comes with? I'm going to try and help you understand that. It's lonely. But if this is what you want, you can have it. It's going to require a different version of you. In fact, the money is just a byproduct of who you are. And if you've been on this channel, you've heard me say this time and time again. The money is a byproduct. So what's going to happen as you pursue this goal, or rather you become this goal, is you're going to change. And in order for you to change, you're going to be forced into these situations of molding and undue stress and great amounts of pressure. Your blood pressure is going to rise. Your body's going to feel it. You're going to lose a lot of friends. Family's going to start asking questions. All of this will happen to the extent of the goal that you want to reach. So if it's 30K a month, then you might only feel it this much. If it's 50K a month, you might only feel it this much. If it's $1 million a year, you might only feel it this much. Pick your poison. And I hope that throughout the course of this video, you'll start to read in between the lines and realize that the question you should really be asking is, who do I want to become? Because on the surface level, you see the income, but the lens through which you see the world, that's really what matters. Personally, I wanted to see the world in a certain way. And it means deciding to see the world in that way right now. And that's when the money starts to come. I'm going to try and connect those dots. starting now. So entrepreneurship, you can start to view it as a sport. And in every sport, there are levels. There's competitive levels. There's high school, there's D3 college, D2 college, D1 college, there's the pro league, there's the Olympics. And in the sport of entrepreneurship, you measure success, for better or worse, by money, how much money you make. That is how we measure success. That's how we measure the six-figure earners, the millionaires, the 100 millionaires, centimillionaires, they're called, the billionaires, and then the titans. And so if you look at some of the more famous entrepreneurs of our day, the Russell Brunsons, that Alex Hormozis, these folks would be like quadruple black belts or Olympians or something like that. And then the Elon Musks, just for the sake of building this analogy in the right way, the Elon Musks, the Bezoses of the world, they would be like, I don't know, like Messi, Ronaldo, Pelé type, like the legends, for example, right? So in that breath, the reason why I bring up this analogy is because if you want to compete, or if you want to succeed, you're going to have to compete. There's no way around it. There's people actively trying to take you out. And if you want to succeed, you must train like you are going to the Olympics, or at least Division 1 or whatever it is. Take yourself that seriously. Take your craft that seriously. And in that same breath, it's in your best interest to get around other black belts and other Olympic champions and learn from them. And if you have the opportunity to do so, you should do it. For some reason, entrepreneurship is one of those things where people feel bad about getting a coach or whatever it might be. And you go learn any other sport, the first thing you do is join a team and get a coach. I'm saying this because this is what I would have done sooner if I wanted to accelerate my progress. Thankfully, I've been blessed with a few mentors who were instrumental on my journey, but you cannot survive. You cannot survive without that. YouTube and learning through YouTube is the second closest thing. Unfortunately, a lot of people gatekeep on YouTube, so you're not getting the full thing and the tailored guidance. Anyway, wrapping up that analogy, you have to get good. So I was just talking about this. Today is Tuesday, December 30th, by the way, 2025. I was just talking about this on a call with a client. You have to get good. It's a sport. It's a craft. It's a profession. You have to get good at it. It's a skill. It's a series of skills. It's a layer of skills. There's marketing. This could look like ads, cold email, cold calling. There is offer and product design. There is sales. You have to get good at all of those things. This is just like striking versus wrestling versus conditioning. It's all, you cannot be a complete fighter unless you learn and know all of those things. You must read, you must study. We'll get to the reading thing later. But this is how you go from stumbling upon success to being able to create it over and over again. If I were to go broke today, God forbid, I would know how to make the money back. And you hear entrepreneurs say that all the time, but it's true. Because you know how to create an offer people actually want. And then you know how to get enough eyeballs on it based on your budget. If you've learned how to do cold email, for example, or you've learned how to cold call or run ads, you know sales and how to get them to buy it. And then you know the client experience and customer service. So how to do a great job and fulfill and then get a review and then parlay that into more opportunities. It becomes a situation where you can create money out of thin air. And so if I were to talk further about the ruthless mindset, You cannot allow yourself to think that you are complete. Like you are enough in the fact that like you know enough. Just the fact that you're in this game and you've decided to compete, your self-esteem is there. But you can't allow yourself to think that you know the most. The moment you do, you're done, you die. Invest in yourself ruthlessly. The ruthless mindset to $1 million a year really means ruthlessly building a ruthless mindset, aggressively building a ruthless mindset. I'm talking books, I'm talking education, I'm talking mentorship. This is how you like. This is how you get good. People make fun of people who buy courses, for example. I was thinking about this the other day. I've never met anyone who's successful who didn't invest in some sort of education, whether it's a seminar, books is the most common one, courses, of course, whether it's formal education in university or whatever it is, or private education, challenges, things like that. Anyone making over 50 grand a month is 100% a part of some mastermind or has purchased a course, attended a seminar, etc. in the last 90 days, a book, whatever it is, or has immersed himself in some sort of deep learning. I would guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I'm talking making over 50K a month, like each month. And if not that, if they're not doing this, then they read a book in the last week. There's just no way you sustain it. There's just no way. There's just no way. I tweeted this and I took it down because I don't like Twitter. I don't know. Anyway, Twitter trains you to just type the first thing that comes to your mind. But anyway, this is rather important, so I kept it. Read books. Success leaves clues. It's amazing how much of an advantage this gives you over people who don't read. There's no possible way they would have gotten the knowledge that you have. Reading a book is like being able to sit down with the author or with the person in the flesh. Every leap in my success has come directly from periods of massive immersion, studying, and relentless execution. Everybody wants to get rich, but nobody wants to study how to do it. And people literally just tell you how to do it. They write it in a book and they give it to you. But it's the idea of reading. It hurts people's pride or ego, I guess, because it makes them feel like they're not smart, whatever it is, who knows. Anyway, I don't know a single wealthy person who isn't always reading something. It compounds. Success is intentional. It's not by accident. You must decide and then create it. And what this means is you have to say no to everything else. Saying yes to your vision and allowing it to be the thing you create this year. Like this year can be the year you want it to be. And saying yes to that means saying no to everything else. And there's no in between, there's no gray area. And the extent you compromise on this is the extent to which your vision, your dream, your reality that you're building will be compromised. And it's not easy. Go figure. I've never had a get rich quick. I've never had a this will be easy theme ever on this channel. You decide what you want and then proceed. So this year, for the last March, April, at least for the last 8 months, from 4 a.m. till about 8 p.m. I was either studying copywriting, studying cold email, building my agency, building Spectre, learning, 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is documented, by the way. If you know me, I track my time. This doesn't make me special, actually. This just makes me, this is just the minimum standard. This is not the thing you brag about. This is just, okay, cool. Like this is what you should be doing anyway. This is the minimum acceptable standard here. This is what it means to be this is what it means to be the 1%, or this is rather who you're competing against. That's who you're competing against. It's the person who will not stop until they get what they want every day, weekday or not. Oftentimes, I'm describing what this level is like to you. Not that this level is any more special. I'm actually shooting for a level multiples beyond this one. But if I'm going to tell you how to get here, it's the mindset first that naturally takes you here. It's just poof. It's almost like time's a blur, and then you end up making the money you said you wanted to make. You must be relentless about it and treat not being where you want to be or not making the kind of money you want to make as an emergency. If you aren't convinced, if you haven't convinced yourself down to a cellular level that where you're at right now is not okay, and the fact that you're not where you want to be is not okay, and that's an emergency, if you haven't convinced yourself down to a cellular level of that, there's a disconnect. And it will feel like you're going uphill all the time. If you've convinced yourself that you are committed to becoming this person and that it's an emergency, the fact that you're not where you want to be, then you will naturally move heaven and earth. You will move mountains to restore the order that exists in your mind, which is this new reality that you're creating. To be a 1% entrepreneur, it means you have to beat out the other 99%. If there's 100 people in a room, it means you come out winning. And you beat out all 99% of them. This means you have to be the best in the room. If you're afraid of that competition, if you're afraid of that level of competition, good. It should scare you. If it doesn't, you're not aiming high enough. If your goal doesn't scare you, if you aren't paralyzed as to how you're going to do it, you're not aiming high enough. If it feels within reach, you're not aiming high enough. It should be a goal that you cannot conceive. You have to be the one they hate to compete against. The next point is, I get a lot of questions from clients, business owners I'm consulting, people who watch these videos. What do I do, Pablo? How do I do it? I think about my times when I was working at a staffing agency, and I was always the number one or number two performer there. And I would only ever be replaced and bumped down to number two by someone who, well, there was one situation, I wasn't there long, but this one person wasn't the greatest salesman in the world, but when he found out he had a kid on the way, somehow, some way, he became the number one performer. I say all that to say, when the stakes are high enough, you'll know what to do. You know what to do. You know when you do good work. You know when you're activated. So just stop settling for less. I know this video is a bit disjointed, but it's honest. Stop settling for less. The goal you hit in 2025, you probably settled for. The number you hit, the amount of money you made in 2025. Yes, I'm talking about money because that's the score. The amount of money you made in 2025, you probably settled for. Play to win. If you're going to go into 2026, play to win. Do good work and do work that you're proud of. Throwing in a very practical and simple hack here, turn your phone off. Turn off your phone, turn off the devices, delete social media. If you see me posting on TikTok or Instagram, it's managed for me. I'm not spending time on those platforms. I deactivated my Twitter today. Delete all your social media. If you do that, if you can do just that, if you can stay away from your phone and readjust that relationship you have with your phone, you win. One of the reasons why I was able to scale my agency so quickly is because my screen time was less than 5 minutes a day for months. I've put up multiple screenshots of this in previous videos. 2026 and life period is about taking what you want. And you will realize that this is all in your head. Everything you think is difficult or out of reach, it's literally all in your head. You're making it up and you're deciding, often consciously, especially once I call it out, you're deciding to continue to reinforce these narratives that you can't do certain things or whatever it is. You're choosing your ego and a past story and your pride over just admitting you don't know enough and blindly following instructions and learning. Anyway, that's another point, but take what you want. Now, another reality check. This is not going to resonate with everybody. This might resonate with you. If you are under $100,000 a year in income, if you're under $500,000 a year in income, whatever it is, could apply to $1 million a year, and you want to really break through, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do one thing every day. You're going to commit to doing one thing every day. There's going to be a thing that you do every day. And you're going to do this thing every day without fail until you get what you want. That's it. It's that simple. Your intention for 2026, beyond anything else, should be to become a person of consistency. Ooh. It's insane the doors that will open up. You need to become the kind of, oh man, this one hits right here, because this was me for so long. This was not me for so long. You need to become the kind of person who can hit escape velocity. Think of rocket ships, and they don't stop. They don't stop halfway up the sky. They go until they exit orbit, and then some, and then some, and then they keep going, and they pick and choose their own orbit. They pick and choose their altitude. They don't settle. And so often, it gets harder and harder the higher you go, and people stop and decide to come back down. You need to become the kind of person who can hit escape velocity. Fall in love with the idea of being consistent. Fall in love with a consistent version of you. Fall in love with consistency. Lastly, be in the white hot space always. Identifying the white hot space in entrepreneurship in your niche is a skill. In the same way, people in the finance world are always looking for the next new stock or the next new whatever it might be. Always keep an eye out for the white hot space. Right now it's AI. A couple years it might be some sub niche within AI. But be in the white hot space always. There's a reason why all the internet gurus, I guess I'm a guru now because I'm on YouTube, but there's a reason why all the internet gurus are moving towards AI or trying to come out with some AI product. It's just about being in the white hot space always, because the advantage that gives you is second to none. Move faster than you think. Always be slightly uncomfortable in your pricing. Always be slightly uncomfortable in your promises, meaning promise a lot. Do slightly more than you think you can handle. Promise slightly more than you think you can handle. This is going to force you to go out of your way to become someone different, bigger, better, but really just the truest version of you that you've been all this time. I'm not going to make this video any longer than it has to be. I got nothing to sell you. If any of this resonated with you, just hit the like button. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.